Welcome,
I saw your
everyone.
mouth moving, but I couldn't read your lips.
Thank you for letting me know. Yes. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining the first meeting of the year. Woo! Everyone looks so good. Look at you. I love it that most of you have your cameras on and I can see your beautiful faces. Thank you for doing that. Well, we're going to go ahead with our first presenter, who right on time, because we're in that season now that we do not like, and it's tax season. So from Get Ahead, Colorado, Kelly Wagner. Woo.
Hi, ladies. Thank you. So this is like my third or fourth year joining you. And of course, obviously the first time doing it virtually. So I'm glad it worked out. So thank you for the invitation once again. And can I share my screen? I have a quick presentation just so I think it helps to hear and see. So if I can do that, let me do that. And then I'll take any questions that come. So let me share this. All right, can you see my screen? If someone can maybe weigh in. Okay, great. Awesome. So as Gloria said, Kelly Wagner from Get Ahead Colorado, part of the Piton Foundation. And we run a public information campaign that really is focused on any kind of resources that help families. Our focus, obviously right now is on free tax preparation, as well as tax credits that are refundable. So you get cash back. And so we want to make sure everybody knows about those and is taking advantage of those tax credits. So these are some of the ones that we like to make sure people are aware of. Most people are actually aware of the child tax credit. Anytime you have a child, you're like, I'm getting money back. I get a deduction in what I have to pay in taxes. Or if you're paying for a child or another dependent to so that you can work somebody to take care of them, you can get credit for that as well. But the earned income tax credit is really the largest of those tax credits, and it's one that less people take advantage of. And so we want to make sure that people know, because it's worth up to $6,600 in a refundable tax credit. Obviously, it depends on your circumstances, your income. If you have children, if you're filing, depending how you're filing, a number of factors are taken into consideration. On average, a parent with children is going to receive more back for the earned income tax credit. And the other thing we want to make sure people know is that Colorado offers a 10% match of the federal credit. Sometimes people just file their federal taxes, but if you file your Colorado taxes as well, you can get an additional match of whatever you qualify for at the federal level from the EITC. And again, it's refundable, which means it puts cash back in your pocket. So in Colorado, 1 in 4 families are missing out. Hopefully you aren't one of those, but we really want to make sure that people know that they are eligible for that refund. So the reason that we do the campaign is really because there are so many people that are eligible that are not taking advantage of that tax credit. One of the things, as Gloria mentioned, the only way to get that tax credit is filing your taxes. It's not always fun to do so, but the payoff could be significant by getting that cash back. So, gathering your tax documents and tracking down W-2s and finding a place to file is not always fun, but it really can be worth your time and worth your while to file. So we want to tell you about some free ways to file. Free tax preparation, as you can imagine, looks a little different this year. Usually we have hundreds of free tax sites called VITA sites that are available across the state. This year, that number is significantly less, but there are options to still get free tax preparation. And so if you are a household that's making about $57,000 or less, there are still some in-person tax sites available, but there's also options to do it online. And I'm going to tell you about those later, and also to do them remotely. So those are some great options still. So if you want to file on your own, if you're comfortable, you don't need anyone to assist you, you can use myfreetaxes.com. I think it's going to be online starting next week. You can file your federal and state returns for free. So that is a great option, myfreetaxes.com. It's a partnership actually between United Way Worldwide, and I think it's H&R Block software that they use, but it's a great option if you're comfortable on your computer You have all your documents. It takes usually, they say, about an hour or less to do so. And they have a chat feature that walks you through the process if you get stuck. So just want to let you know that you can find all of these options available at getmyrefundco.org, or you can call 211 so you can locate an in-person tax site. So if you're comfortable going in person, there are still some in-person tax sites that you can visit. And you can find a location there just by putting in your address or your zip code. You can also file online. So that link on the getmyrefundco.org will take you to the My Free Taxes option. And then the last one is remotely. And so if you are, if you can't do any of the others, this is a new service. You can use your smartphone to take pictures of your tax documents, securely upload those to a site, and then somebody a tax pro will call you and talk through a short interview, make sure that you have all the tax documents you need, and then they'll give you a call back a week later to finalize the process. So they go away, file your taxes for you, call you back, and it's all done remotely. So a couple of the things that just want to make sure everybody's aware of. We're really expecting that because of the impact of COVID and so many people being furloughed, having to, having been laid off potentially or unemployed, that there's going to be a lot more people that maybe were not eligible in the previous year that are now eligible for the earned income tax credits. We want to make sure that we're getting the word out to as many people as possible. The other thing is that the state recently passed legislation that extends the state level EITC to people with an ITIN number. So ITIN is like a social security card for people who are not US citizens, so that they can work and file taxes. So the state level EITC, which is the 10% match, is available to ITIN filers for the first time this year. So that's something that's exciting. Colorado was the first state in the nation to extend that tax credit to ITIN filers. And then this is a couple years off, but still wanted to share it because it's exciting, is that the other part of the legislation increased the match from 10% to 15% of whatever you qualify for on the federal level. So just another way to increase what your refund is related to the EITC. So Gloria, I know that you guys had a nice drive-through party over the holidays. Hopefully you recognize this flyer. We included this flyer in some bags along with a couple of other swag items that give you just some information about all of those options, how to get more information. So, feel free to use those for yourself, pass them on to family and friends if they think they can use it, so that they remember to go online, file their taxes, find the options that are available to them. So last year, we did a free tax filing event over at Dress for Success offices one evening. Obviously, we can't do that this year, but we are excited to offer an alternative to help you file your taxes for free. So coming up on Thursday, February 11th from 6 to 8, we actually have some IRS certified preparers that work with our partner program, Tax Help Colorado, who are going to host a Zoom call just like this. They'll be able to put you, and I think it's great that you have the breakout rooms because they will be able to go into a breakout room, work with you one-on-one. They will actually walk you through what you need to do to get online, file your taxes for free. You will do it yourself, but you will have support the entire time. And so we really encourage you to take advantage of this option. Really, this is, oftentimes we pay so much for somebody else to file our taxes. This is a great option. And, once you have somebody there kind of walking you through the process, you start to feel more comfortable and realize you can file on your own. And so, we want to make sure that this was available again this year. And so figured out a way to make that happen. And so you can, on screen, here's the sign up link, and I'll put it in the chat as well. And then also if you have questions, you can call. So we really would encourage you to sign up so that we know how many people are going to participate. Again, it should take about an hour, depends if you're fast, depending on how long it takes you, but we're expecting that it would take around an hour. And so there's several slots that you can sign up for. And we just want to invite you to participate in that event. Again, just a new option. We're being super innovative during these COVID times and during quarantine and doing everything virtual. So this is something that new that we're doing, but they've done it. They did it a little bit over the summer when they extended the tax deadline. So they know that it works. And again, just being able to, if they need to work with you one-on-one, going into those breakout rooms to talk specifically about your situation. So everybody doesn't have to hear your financial business, but so we're excited about being able to offer that. I'm going to stop sharing and see if anyone has questions. I'm going to put the link in the chat to sign up, and then also hopefully the phone number you were able to write down if you have questions. And I can send that to Gloria as well.
Yes.
To
So
share.
Kelly, there was a question on the chat asking if you have anyone of the preparers that speak Spanish.
We do. And if you want to sign up for a slot, or if you want to call that number just so that they make sure to have somebody available, there's certainly ways, not only the remote way, there's oftentimes Spanish speaking IRS preparers at a lot of the in-person sites as well. So that's an option for people if they need somebody who is speaking Spanish.
All right. Any questions, ladies?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Yeah, I want to ask what's the difference between child tax credit and child and dependent care credit?
What was which credits? I'm sorry, would you mind repeating that?
Yeah, I see in the PowerPoint, the second one and third one, he said tax, child credit, and other one child and dependent care credit. And so what's the difference?
So the child tax credit is extended to anyone who has a child. So if you have a qualifying child and the IRS defines that, a certain way, then you're eligible for that tax credit. It's about $2,000 per qualifying child. So that total reduces the amount you owe, and it's refundable up to $1,400. It's a little complicated, but you can get a cashback refund with the child tax credit. So for each qualifying child, it's $2,000 credit. So if you have one child, it's $2,000. If you have two, it's $4,000. And again, it reduces the amount of money you owe, and it is refundable. The child independent care credit is not refundable, but it does reduce the amount of tax you owe. So if you've already paid into the system through our paychecks, which we all have, it will further reduce the amount you owe. So if you have, for example, tax documentation that shows that you paid, $3,000 for a child for daycare so that you could work, then you would, you usually get some, I think it's a 1099, or I can't remember the exact form, but you get a form from your child care provider that says that you paid them a certain amount of money. Then you use that to determine your deduction amount. So, but it's also available for dependent care. So if there's somebody that's over, I think it's 17, that you care for, that's permanently disabled, you can also get a deduction for whatever money you've spent on caring for them.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
I saw another question and I was thinking, yes. So I just want to make sure the other thing that is really important if you're going to sign up, you said as a contractor. So yes, if you are part of, kind of the gig economy, or you're a contractor, self-employed, you may be eligible for some of these tax credits as well. If you sign up, I would just encourage you to make sure you have all your W-2s. So if you worked more than one job and you only have one, do not file until you get all of your W-2s. You're supposed to have them by the end of this month, but they give employers up until middle of February to really get them. So if you've moved, if you need to track down any of your W-2s from more than one employer, we encourage you to make sure you have all of those, because if you file and then you have another one, you'll have to amend your return. And speaking from personal experience, amending returns is not fun. So, and time consuming. So
I have a question. If you got unemployment, do you have to put that on your income tax? And are you going to have in person to where you can do that in person? I don't have a computer.
So unemployment is not necessarily considered income, but it is taxable. So hopefully if you had unemployment throughout the year, you had taxes withheld from your unemployment benefits. So if you
Yes,
didn't,
I
you
had
can-
the taxes taken out.
Good, that's great. I know we tried to do a lot because I was like, people are going to start getting, and that's something that we get a lot of questions about. You have to, it's best to have it taken out right away instead of waiting so that you don't end up owing for whatever reason. So
Yes. Kelly, are you going to be able to stick around until 8 o'clock with us?
I've got to get something out of the oven for my kiddo. Did you have other questions or that I could maybe address?
No, but we do need to move to our next presenter.
Okay.
Yes. And so if you can come back, that would be great. And if
Okay.
not, ladies, you do have her information on there, the information, so that you can ask all of those wonderful questions you have about taxes. Does that sound good?
I'm going to put my email into the chat too, so please feel free to reach out to me. And also, because I am not an IRS certified tax preparer, I'd be happy to consult with one who is and get you the answers that you know, very specific, more specific answers. So again, thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kelly. It's
Right.
always nice having you. Thank you so much. All right, ladies. So we're starting a new year, right? And we're still masking up. It's still, things are still hard. And we need a little bit of help, right? Our next presenter has some great ideas to help us through this moment, to make this moment a little better for ourselves and for our family. So let me welcome Julie Korotkin with Breathing Your Model of Holistic Well-Being. Thank you, Julie, for being here.
I guess I should unmute myself before I start talking. Hi, thank you, Gloria. Thank you for having me. I really am honored to be here, and I'm super excited to share a little bit with you tonight. That will be what I'm hoping you'll walk away feeling empowered, a little bit lighter, and feel like you have a back pocket tool that will give you more of a sense of being protected in this crazy world we're living in right now. That's kind of my goal. So, so thank you for having me. And I might ask a question. And for those of you I actually can see, like raise your hand. Of course, we'll use the chat and just be ready for me to throw some questions out and perhaps we'll respond. So I just want to give you a little bit of background about who I am and how I ended up in this place. So I am a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Colorado, and I'm actually typically known as the Holistic Wellbeing Guide. I have my own model of holistic well-being that is the foundation of all of my work, and it is something you are going to get a small piece of tonight. And I'm excited to share that with you. It is a profound foundational model that has changed my life and has the potential to really uplift yours as well. I have a background working in co-occurring mental illness and addiction, complex PTSD, women's issues, trauma. But I also, most of the way I come to the table is through a coaching lens and a lens of action taking and a lens of being empowered and coming from a strengths-based place. So I'm hoping you get a bit of that tonight too. And if you have questions as I go, feel free to throw them in the chat, and maybe Gloria, you can help me with managing that if I get flustered. I have a new extra screen in my office, so I get a little confused sometimes. I'm gonna try to share my slides now. There they are. And we will get going. Thank you for being here and being dedicated to yourselves. Can you see them? Can you see the slides?
Yeah.
Okay, good. There we go. Okay, now. Thank you for being dedicated to yourselves. It's a really tough time in the world. So before we get too far into it, I'll just tell you, we're going to overview the model of holistic well-being tonight. This is it's a really cool, fun lens and tool. And we're gonna use it in terms of how we create boundaries, what boundaries literally look like in our minds, and talk about the brain's power for visualizing and what that can do for us. And then we're gonna breathe our models of holistic well-being. And I'm gonna drop us into a really light, freeing, safe, guided visualization. And my intention is that we are going to breathe our model of holistic well-being. It could be something smaller or bigger. It really depends on what comes out of our conversation and how you guys are feeling as we go forward, okay? And also you should know that the visualizations are always super intuitive and I never know exactly how they're gonna look. So, let's see, there it is. So why the model? It sets a foundation for your highest and best self to take the lead in your life. It sets a foundation for you to support others in stepping into their highest and best selves. And it opens the door for you to support yourself and others from the place of authenticity, love, compassion, understanding, curiosity, and generosity. And I know that all sounds like perhaps a very tall order. And I promise you, this is what comes out of working with it. And you're going to get some of it tonight. I'm super excited.
I'll be right back. You know, Tina told us to do facility.
It is, sorry, can we mute? Just, yeah, there's a lot of voices. The model of holistic well-being is a lens. Like literally, I want to encourage you to consider this image here as a pair of glasses that you put on over yourself and over the people around you. And it will give you access to really seeing everyone's humanness, because these 7 layers are things that are inescapable for each of us, no matter where we're from or what we've been through or what we have or don't have. You can't escape your body, mind, heart, spirit, community, purpose, and environment, which ultimately can result in well-being.
Julie?
And it's a tool. It's a tool to use as a foundation of understanding and creating your best and highest life.
Julie, are we supposed to be seeing the other slides? Because right now we're still at the first one.
Really?
Yes.
Really? You're not getting it?
We see it, and we see the PowerPoint, and we see the smaller version of the slides on the side.
How weird. Okay, hang on. That's so weird. Let me thank you for saying something. Because I've had people not say something and then wait a minute. So sorry. Technical difficulties are the worst. Now what do you see? What'd you see then? I can't hear you.
Julie, this is Amara. What I recommend, if you have other documents up on your computer, you might want to close those out, because we saw a Word document and we kind of saw your home screen or screen on your computer with all your other files. So to make it go a little smoother, close everything.
I am so sorry. I have so much.
That's okay. Technical difficulties is 2020 spilling into 2021, no problem. So go ahead and—
Thank you. It happens sometimes, y'all. It just happens. It's been a crazy day leading up to this moment. I'm not going to quit Keynote or Zoom though. Okay. There we go. Let me get out of this. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to share again. And how about that? Maybe this will work better. Let's try this. Now, can you see that slide?
We can definitely see the slide. It is rather small, but we can see it.
Now, can you see it big?
Yes, we can.
All right. All right, so we're gonna go here These were the 3 whys of the of the model of holistic well-being. This is the model. Yes, you should have been looking at this as I was talking. And it's a lens. Like I said, I really want you to look at this as a pair of glasses. And it's a tool, and it has tons and tons of uses, and we are not going to get into all of it tonight, but here are some of the things that you can get from using the model as it's fully intended. Is a way to deeply know yourself, a way to get to rapid decision making and clarity in your mind, whether you're at peace or in a moment of stress. You can achieve grounding and presence through living your life through this model, making your life plans, and of course, understanding and supporting yourself and others with love, compassion, understanding, generosity, and curiosity. I can't say it enough. Our world just needs more of it. But what we're going to use from the model tonight is its visual representation of boundaries. And this is going to set us up for the visualization that we are going to be doing in a little bit. So as you can see, if you look at the I just zoomed in, took a little chunk of the model. And as you can see, there is like an ombre effect, like a softening of the lines between the body. You see it in the head. And if you could see the whole image, the hands and the feet are softened too. And this layer next to the mind, next to the heart, next to the spirit, these 4 layers make up our internal world. This is where we operate, right? This is our stuff. This is our issues. This is our love. This is our rage. This is ours. And our brains are so potent, and everything that makes us work as humans happens so quickly. Sometimes we have a hard time differentiating between what's a feeling, what's a thought, what's a sensation in my body. Is this my intuition? Am I connected? Do I know what's going on? What is going on? And sometimes like that flow is way too much and way too fast. And so we want to acknowledge that the need for the boundaries and the potency of the connection between these internal layers. So that's number 1. And this softened layer sort of speaks to softening in your life with others. I can hear my child screaming, so there's a possibility there will be a knock on my door. I'm really sorry for that. I'm hoping that won't happen. But if you look around the spirit layer has this dashed line. And there is where we have an indication of a healthy boundary between the self and the external world. Our external world making up for our community and our purpose, right? This is where we go out into the world and, experience life. And so we hope that this is a healthy boundary that has some openness and some places that are closed. And then on and on. We're going to skip to I'm going to go to the next slide so that you guys can see sort of a representation of the way, if I can skip to the next slide. There we go. A representation of what these boundaries might look like otherwise. The way typically therapists will talk about boundaries is, are they rigid? Are they porous? Are they healthy? Type into the chat, like, what image comes up for you when you think of a rigid boundary? Like what kind of thing? I cannot see the chat for whatever reason. Is there anything coming in?
We don't have any comments yet, but
Okay.
I'll definitely let you know when I see something.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
We have demanding privacy, adore. The pandemic is the essence of rigidity. A wall.
A wall.
Mountains of pressure. A strong boundary. A fence.
Okay, I like it. So there's some visual representations in there, a wall, a fence, a brick, and mountains of who knows what. And I just picked a brick wall. Like when I think of a rigid boundary, this is when not much is getting in and not much is getting out. And it's an instinct. It's a way of keeping ourselves safe, or so we think, right? And so I encourage you to look at where you might have rigid boundaries in your life and with whom.
We have a new one, black and white thinking.
Okay, yeah, just all or nothing, zero. There's no gray, there's no in the middle. And we know that black and white thinking can accompany so many difficulties in life. It's kind of what drives us to have that rigidity. And then there's like the porous boundary. And what does that look like? If you were to come up with a visual image, what would you guys say the visual image is?
With a sponge.
Perfect. I love it.
Rain, seeing, black and white thinking, all level of gray.
Level of gray. Yes.
Sand, water, gravel, a net.
So things that can be traveled through to a degree, right, are porous. And when we have porous boundaries, it really shows up. It shows up in a way sometimes of people pleasing. It's like, I will do anything so these people accept me and like me and let me be me, let me appear to be me in whatever way they need me to. It's a matter of letting the external chaos in life pull you off your center. And you're just kind of free flowing with whatever it is into an emotional spin where you probably have power and don't take action on it. And these kind of boundaries are also the result of being hurt and striving to get something we didn't get. And then there's healthy boundaries. And I picked this image of the ocean. I'm just going to speak to it because there's a symbiosis here. There's a relationship between the sand and the ocean, and it's in this constant state of flow. There's giving and taking and back and forth. And yet the water always remains the water and the sand always remains the sand. And so if you are in a healthy boundaried relationship with another human, you cross over in some places and other places you don't. So I kind of liked this image. Can you guys think of any other images of boundaries that would be like a visual for a healthy boundary with another human? One-to-one. We're just talking one-to-one right now.
Okay, so we have time difference of sky, light to dark, earth and sky, affection, music.
Oh, interesting. I want to hear how that works. I don't know who said it because I can't see.
Think to connect. Would you like to unmute yourself and expand on that? We have others, autonomy, auras blend, middle only.
Can you see me, hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My description with the music is it's flowing, it symbolizes different sounds, a different beat from yourself and others. It blends together. If that makes sense to you.
I super dig that. Yes. Thank you for expanding on it. I appreciate that. That's a new one for me. I haven't heard that from anyone yet. So thank you so much. And these are really personal boundaries that we are like typically faced with or need to consider in our day-to-day lives on a smaller scale. But what I'm getting from what everyone has said and my own experience of being in a global pandemic and living through some of the worst times in United States history at the same time, you know, we're pretty traumatized, and there's a very dark collective energy in our communities. And we're living in close quarters. It's densely populated. And if we really are, if this model is true and we really are beings of spirit, then we emit energy, and other people's energy comes to us too. And so there's like an energetic boundary that most of us probably haven't even considered that may or may not be present. And so when you're in the midst of all this community chaos and divisiveness and anger, and people are scared and mad and freaking out and feeling helpless or going broke, we're all like swimming in the soup of each other's drama and stuff. And when you can visualize anything, your brain is much better at believing it and helping you create it. And so that's why I like to use a visual tool to help create boundaries for myself. And we do it through the model of holistic well-being, because having this experience then gives you real, like, tangible access to the model itself, and how you could maybe even start using it in your day-to-day life. Am I making sense? I hope so. Okay, so I'm gonna go over this way. I have no mouse. Hold on. I lost my mouse. Sorry, y'all. There we go. So when we talk about boundaries on a collective level, and we consider a way that we can feel safe and also send out love to the places that need it. That's kind of how I like to think about it. So I like to use light. I call it a light boundary. And when we get into our visualization, I'm going to cue this as light. But I want to encourage you, to draw up any image of a texture that makes you feel good and safe and squishy, like you're in your own little egg, your own little colored egg as we go forward. I would like for you to really let yourself sink into it as much as you can. Sometimes we have a hard time dropping in meditatively, and I'll do my best to bring everyone down so that you can really have this experience for what it's worth. Are there any questions right now, or anything else that I need you guys want to say or need to know at the moment?
There's a comment here.
Yeah.
My visual image of a healthy boundary between two people would be sharing things like a meal, a favorite movie, or any number of favorite things, including music, places you've traveled to, etc.
So for you, it's almost as if the boundary is an experience. Like it's something that you share together. Is that what I'm hearing? You can type it, your answer, if you want.
Maybe I was heading in the wrong direction, but the way you framed it is exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And yeah, for when it's a healthy relationship and there's good, awesome things there, that's great. Now, there's also people in the world you probably don't want to get too close to and don't want to share a meal with. and that's okay too. And so in the case of tonight's visualization, what we're going for is, how do we maintain our own sense of empowerment through visualization and feel comfortable and safe in the world, knowing that all other humans have this same system going on? Does that make sense? It'll make more sense when we get there. How am I doing on time?
Let's see, you still have yeah, about 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, let's do it. I just want everyone to sit back or lay down super comfortably. Go ahead and close your eyes. And if it's comfortable to turn your hands palm up in your lap, please do so. And just notice the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe, and letting yourself become heavy in your seat. And just sinking down into your body, feeling where you are connected to the surface upon which you are resting, and just noting the gentle pressure between you and that surface. And just allowing yourself to come further in and taking your attention to your feet. And just notice if there's any tension in the toes or the tops or bottom of the feet, your ankles. And on your next exhale, simply let it melt away. Moving up to your shins and calves, thighs. All are heavy and soft. The pelvic floor, the lower abdominals, and the hips and the glutes are melted and relaxed in your seat. And the abdomen, and the back, and the chest are all soft, as are the shoulders, the arms, all the way down to the wrists, hands and fingers. On your next exhale, all become heavy and relaxed. And the front and the back of the neck are soft. And you scan up the back of your skull and over the top of your head, letting any tension remaining melt away. The muscles in the forehead and the eyes are soft and heavy. The cheeks and lips are soft. The lips are closed. The jaw is parted slightly, and your tongue floats lightly in the mouth when you breathe. And you turn your attention to the very base of your spine. And here at the very base of your spine is a warm, glowing ball of red light. And on your next inhale, as you breathe in, this light begins to grow. And it grows and slowly begins to fill your body completely with this warm, red, nurturing light. And you sense that it's grounding you and creating safety for you inside your body. And here you feel rooted and grounded to the earth. And it feels so good to be full of this warm, red, swirling light. And you breathe, and the light pulses with your breath. And as you maintain the swirling red light inside of your body, turn your attention to the center of your brain, inside the mind's eye. And on your next exhale, this swirling ball of indigo light begins to form. And as you exhale, it expands. It expands out of your body and surrounds you completely. And your warm, red, rooted body is beginning to float gently and safely inside of this warm, bright indigo light that holds all of your knowing. And this feels so good. And every exhale just fills that space around you more and more with this indigo light. And now you are surrounded by your own knowing. And it feels safe. It makes you want to turn to your heart center, right in the center of your chest. And inside your chest begins to swirl a green ball of light. And it's swirling in a clockwise fashion, massaging your heart space from the inside out. And just below the navel, maybe a couple of inches, also begins to swirl an orange light, full of your compassion and feelings. And on your next exhale, these lights begin to grow. And they grow outside of your body, outside of your indigo layer, and then surrounding you entirely. Around the indigo layer, your body is red and warm and rooted. And you're being held inside of all of your knowing, and now surrounded by your love and compassion. Just gently floating inside of this beautiful space. Feels safe and protected. And some of your love is available to others. And this makes your light shine a little brighter. And now you're turning your attention to the very crown of your head, the tip top of your head. And here begins to swirl a violet light. It's beautiful and bright. And here is where your connection to Source sprouts straight up from your head and wraps your whole system of your heart and your mind and your body, almost in a spiritual embrace, surrounding you in your own power to be present and connected with yourself and the world in a safe way. This feels so good. And now you're just gently floating. Your red body is full of this beautiful, rooting, safe light, surrounded by all of your knowing, surrounded by your love and compassion, and surrounded by your connection to Source. And here feels so good to know that this is accessible to you at any time. Your model of holistic well-being is always there to support you, ground you, and guide you. And your model breathes as you breathe and flows as you flow. And this feels so good. And on your next inhale, you begin to retrieve your layers, breathing in the violet layer of spirit and knowing. And it spins itself right back into the crown of your head, where it's always living and accessible to you at any time. And now with the heart layer exposed, the orange and green lights, with your inhales, just draw back into the body, back into those swirling light centers in your chest and below the navel. And the lights go quiet. And now this indigo layer is available for you to breathe back into the mind's eye. Always available anytime. And now you sit inside of your red, warm, glowing body, safe and complete and whole. And on your next inhale, you begin to breathe that light right back into your sacrum. And you return to yourself. And just allow yourself to come back into your body, back into your space, wiggling your fingers and your toes, rocking your head from side to side, and when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Is anybody out there?
That was wonderful. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
So we have,
yeah,
so we have a question in the chat.
yeah.
How can you maintain a healthy relationship with people who have stayed in the same mindset when you have grown beyond the relationship?
Oh, it's so challenging, isn't it? And that's a really big question. And y'all are welcome. When someone in a family or some kind of group or system of people, whether it's a family or a bunch of roommates, whatever, what have you, it's kind of like a baby mobile, right? Like all the people are in their little places and they're all nicely balanced, and perhaps everyone in this little mobile are completely crazy, but that works for them because everyone is insane and it all balances each other out. Well, this guy goes and gets healthy and the whole mobile does this. And so when you're the person with the awareness, it then becomes up to you to establish and maintain your boundaries and be clear on what you can and cannot handle inside of the old thinking and the old sick system. And it's complicated. It often requires difficult conversations, and it often requires taking ownership of your role in the situation too. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it did. Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Thanks for your question.
Awesome. Oh, you're welcome. I finally figured out how to do it. I'm sorry, I'm a truck driver, so I'm driving right now, so it's kind of hard for me to do everything, but I do want to say thank you guys for being here, and I do appreciate it. And it is hard to sometimes distance yourself, especially when you've had such a long relationship with those people, and then you change, and they're like, well, what's wrong with you? So, yeah, it kind of gets like that sometimes.
Yes, it does.
But that was a good metaphor and analogy to be able to implement. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. My pleasure. Are there any other questions?
There are a lot of thank yous
I
for
saw
the
that.
meditation.
Now I can see the chat. I found it.
Let's see here. April says, thank you for the relationship advice as well as your presentation.
You are most welcome. Really, my pleasure. And I wanted to offer everyone, if you are curious, want to talk to me, want to figure out what your next step, best step is, just shoot me an email. It's on the next slide. And tell me what you're thinking about. I would love to hear, and I'm happy to give you guys some time. Let me see.
Well, so are you offering a 30-minute one-on-one phone call?
Yep, I sure am.
Wow. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Listen,
That is,
this is my this is the way I give back, and this is how I can best give back. So if somebody wants to get on the phone with me for a little bit, we can do that. Okay.
wow. Thank you so much. Also, Julie, we had some requests for the deck for your presentation.
Oh, you want the slides? Oh, sure. Sure.
Is that okay to put a link to your slides?
Yeah. Do you want me to send them to you in PDF form, and then you can just send it to the group?
Yes. So what I can do is I can have a link for them in the next email.
Okay. Okay. We can do that. I'll get them for you. That's no problem.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You are most welcome. And hopefully you'll have me back. I'll be happy to come back again.
Absolutely. Any other questions, ladies? No questions? We have comments here, a lot of thank yous, and so generous of you, Julie. Looking forward to talking, and gorgeous pic.
Photoshop's amazing, isn't it? I really hope that you guys conjure up this image for yourselves when you're feeling the crazy around you, because there's a lot of it right now, and a lot of what you're feeling does not belong to you. You can give yourself a little freedom and space from it.
Yes, that is wonderful. So needed right now. Thank you so much for being with us and for being so generous with your time, and even offering that extra half an hour phone call with you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes. Can we get back? Oh, there we go. Yay.
Oh, she did it. Thank you for taking my slides out of there.
Well, thank you so much. A big hand to you. Thank you for being here with us.
My pleasure.
And we are going to go into some announcements. And Julie, please stick around if you like. And because we're going to have some questions and answers later of just things. So we are here until 8. So, all right. Okay, so first announcement, we are going to have Healthy Cooking online event this Thursday, January 28th from 5:30 to 6:30 on Zoom. I will be sending tomorrow the recipes that are going to happen online on that day, so that you can get all the goodies of the recipes that you would like to recreate at the same time. And we're all going to get together from 5:30 to 6:30 and just do a little cooking and a little nutrition. I know New Year's comes and we all want to get a little healthier, right? A little bit more fit. And some of us have weight loss goals that we want to achieve. So Danone from North America, they're putting this class just for us. So mark your calendars. You're going to be receiving the invitation and the recipes tomorrow.
I have a question.
Yes.
I work on Thursday night. Is there a way you guys can just send me the recipes and I try and figure it out myself? I work that night.
Absolutely. So the recipes, I'm sending both the recipes and the invitation tomorrow in the email. You'll see a link for both. So that you can either try them by yourself if you can't join us. But if you can, I think this would be really, really fun of all of us trying to put these, they're very easy, for things that look really, really yummy to put together in little time.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. All right. And
Gloria?
yes,
Hi, it's Lorena. I have a question.
sure.
There's some new people that have joined us this evening. So I had shared the email and they logged in accordingly. So does that mean then you have their contact information, or will I have to reshare to the contacts that I sent out?
If you can either send me a list of the emails for everyone, or if they would like to email me individually, we can do that as well, and I can add them to our list. So if they RSVP'd for tonight, I don't have their email necessarily. So please, so my email is Denver PWG, so PS in professional, WS in women's, GS in group, at dressforsuccess.org. And also, please feel free to forward the email to them.
Okay.
Whatever works for them. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. And our next slide, we have the group meditation with Kelly Arnold. This is our monthly meditation. Has become very, very popular. I'm so glad that we had another opportunity for a very different meditation today. We can, yes, I just saw the question. I will be typing the email later on, but let me get through the announcements first. So it's this, the first Thursday of the month, in February 4th from 4:30 to 5. Please be on time. We start right on 4:30, at 4:30. All right, so many of you ladies have lots of coupons to redeem. And so we are having our first opportunity for that, which is Saturday, February 6th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. So that's a Saturday. The RSVP opportunity will go out tomorrow morning along with all of the other goodies information. So if you attended the December meditation, January meditation, the January Advanced EDU, January BBVA, January PWG, which is today, and the healthy class, the healthy cooking class, and the February meditation. So that's a lot of coupons, ladies. And we have lots of goodies. Really, this is going to be fun. So mark your calendars, and tomorrow you will get the chance to RSVP and let me know what time works for you.
Ladies, I also want to reiterate, when we have this suiting time, we need you to be as COVID friendly as possible. That means come in, get your items, don't touch a lot of things. You will not be able to try on. You will need to wear a mask, and we need to get you in and out as quickly as possible. We are trying our hardest to accommodate you, and so we felt this was the best way to do it. Also, keep in mind, this is your only chance to redeem these coupons. So that means if you are unable to make it on this day, you will not be able to redeem those coupons. Is that clear? We cannot extend it out and keep dragging it out. So I want to make sure everyone hears me. This is Amara very clearly. This is your only opportunity to have those coupons. So please come on this Saturday and come quickly. Thank you.
Yes, so again, that's okay. So again, that day is February 6th. It's the first Saturday of February. All right. Okay, so we have not forgotten about the $20 coupons for the October, for those of you who attended the October meeting. So we are planning to have a sale in March, and we will keep you posted on the date to redeem your coupon, but that is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. We're still going to honor those coupons. And thank you for your understanding. And that's my emoji. All right, and Miss Iman. Iman, can you come on and introduce this
Absolutely.
activity?
Hello again. My name is Iman, and I am one of the PWG ambassadors. So I have the honor to introduce to you Your Hour, Her Power. And speaking of what Miss Julie was saying, giving back of her time to serve us, now we're asking you ladies if you can give back for your time. So Your Hour, Her Power, which is inspired by the belief that when a woman has access to opportunities that can change her life, she becomes powerful beyond measure. So what we are asking you is if you can contribute 1 hour of your pay towards Dress for Success to give back to them. And I totally understand we're going through so many challenges and the world is going through a lot of changes. So if you are not able to donate one of your work hours, I would encourage you if you can ask your community, your friends, your coworkers. So when I heard about this, I was like, I'm happy to because I'm capable at this time. Not sure next time, but now I'm happy to do so. So what I did, I was like, let me ask some of my friends and my mentors and my mentees. And I was surprised because I want to share this with you. And it's so hard for me to ask for donation, very, very hard. So I asked one of my mentees and I said, hey, will you be able to donate one of your hour? And his answer was like, yeah, absolutely. And he knows a lot about Dress for Success because he was part of our community action. So then he said, well, actually, I work for a bank. How about if I can ask them to donate? So then after a week, he came and he said, we actually said they will give you $500. So I was so happy about that. To me, I was like, well, now I would like more than $500. So I was sharing the same thing with my friends and I'm just like, hey, I didn't know that we will get this much. Like I was thinking $15, $20, anything will help. So then one of my coworkers, she works at Chick-fil-A. And she said, Iman, I can actually get you something. So then she was told that she may not get money. They will not give her money, but they will give her gift cards or offer cards. So basically you have a sandwich or a drink. I was like, oh, I don't know if that will work. Then Amara was like, yeah, that will work. So basically anything that can help these women to access more programs, more services, it will give us tools that will help us to achieve economic advancement. So this is for all of us. It's not just to, if you can't do it, there's other people. You do have, we all have a network that we can ask. And I'm telling you, based on my experience, it's hard for me to call and be like, hey, can you help? But I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for our organization that I believe in, an organization that helped me, and I have witnessed that organization helped and transferred so many women's lives. So again, I hope that all of you can participate by either contributing one of your hour or asking other women to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Iman. That was awesome. Thank you so much. All right, can we have the next slide? All right, so we are rolling out something. We are very excited about this. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Sheryl Sandberg's Lean In book. She is the second in command over in Facebook. And she wrote this book with the purpose of educating women for us to all come together. And from the book, she also developed the Lean In Circles, which are groups of 10 to 12 ladies that come together once a month for an hour. And this is a support group. This is a friendship. This is a place to find encouragement. It's a safe space, and it's also a lot of fun. This particular program is available all throughout the world in 164 countries. So you would be part, if you choose to be a part of this, of a group just like the PWG, that is a worldwide program. This is another opportunity, but in a much smaller scale. The PWG, right now we have 73 ladies here. And so we can't really have that time to really all get to know us. So we are forming 2 groups of 10 to 12 ladies. The meetings will happen the 3rd Tuesday of the month. One group will be from 5:30 to 6:30, and the second group will be from 7 to 8 p.m. And so this is, if this is for you, keep a note of it. I will be sending again the RSVP if you would like to join this group. I would like for you to make a commitment to be in this group for at least 6 months if you're going to be in it. And so the space is very limited. We're going to try it out. If this is a great success and there's a lot of demand for it, we might open other groups at other times. But this is your opportunity to be part of something very special and to develop closeness and a new, okay. And the next slide. Q&A. So Amara is here with me, or is on Zoom with us, and I'm here. And I know that a lot of you are new. What questions do you have? This is our time that we have for you to ask any questions that you've been wanting to ask.
With that new group, Lean On, is that going to be on Zoom or will we be meeting somewhere?
Great question. It is on Zoom. We want to make sure that everyone stays healthy, and for the time being, you know, it's going to be on Zoom. Hopefully
So
later on, it could be in person, but Zoom right now.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? No questions? Okay, I have a question here.
You have a question in the chat room.
Okay, who has a question?
Hey, I'm sorry.
Right now, we don't have a lot of questions in the chat. How about if anybody has something? Here we go. Will there be any professional development classes going on with Dress for Success?
So professional development classes. So we have a lot of the workshops, which continues the professional development. The professional women's group is also a way for us to continue that professional development. Now we do have 5 pillars of success. And Amara, if you can put us on that screen that has the 5 pillars of success. Thank you. All right, so the 5 pillars of success for all of our programming. So this is the professional women's group, 5 pillars of success, but we also apply these to all of the other workshops and things that we have that we offer you throughout the month. So it's leadership, professional development, civic responsibility, financial literacy, health and wellness. So every month you get a lot of emails from me. Every week I sent emails out. And in those emails, you will see the opportunities that are coming up for the professional development, all sorts of workshops. And we have even financial literacy. We have a opportunity with Capital One where you go through a series of classes with financial literacy. So all sorts of opportunities, and they all come via email. So make sure you're checking your emails. And let me see here. Someone is asking if you can give your coupons to a lady in need. Okay, so the coupons are not transferable. Those are yours that you earned from coming to the professional women's group and the workshops, right? If you know that there's a lady in need and she is either on her way for interviews or she's working, she is eligible for our Dress for Success suiting program. So you don't need to give up anything. She can be served as well. So please make sure that you give her our contact information so that she can reach out to us and we can go ahead and set her up with either her interview suitings or her employment suiting. So the employment suiting, even if she's been employed for a while, she is eligible once a year to get clothing from us, okay? So please make sure you let her know. Okay.
Gloria, I can take this next question.
Sure.
Susanna, this is her first time joining us, and she's asking for a brief explanation of Dress for Success. And so first of all, I want to say welcome to our meetings. We're thrilled to have you this evening. Dress for Success is a nonprofit organization that was started in 1997 in Manhattan based on the principle of what would happen if you gave one woman one suit and she was able to achieve one job. How successful could she be and what could she do? And since that time, we have given over 1 million suits to over 2 million women in 154 affiliates in the United States, as well as in 29 countries. Dress for Success Denver was started in 2006. So this is 15 years of Dress for Success. And we continue to provide professional attire, career development tools, and a network of support so that women can thrive in work as well as in life. We have 4 programs: our professional women's group that you just attended. We have our professional suiting program. That's our clothing boutique. I recommend you visit. It's gorgeous. We have our career coaching and our career center, which is now virtual, as well as job readiness classes that we specialize with individuals who were previously or presently incarcerated. Gloria, you're on mute.
I have to remember to unmute myself. So we have our career coaches for the professional women's group. We have 2 of them present, I believe. We have Devika. Devika, if you want to wave. And we have Peggy. I saw Peggy. I don't believe Sheila was able to make it here or make it to the professional women's group. But ladies, Devika and Sheila and Peggy are absolutely amazing. The career coaches, they're here for you. So again, contact me if you are needing a career coach. These are just for the professional women's group. No one else gets to meet with Sheila, Peggy, or Devika, okay? They're great women. If you need, coaching, let's say you're having issues at work, or you're going to be having an interview, if you are going to negotiate your salary, all of those wonderful things, not getting along with someone. These are amazing women with tons of experience that can really help guide you through those moments.
We have a question asking about a book club. I think that's a fantastic idea. If you have a favorite book that you think everyone would enjoy, please email that book and title to Gloria, and we'll see if we can integrate it.
Also, if there is someone out there who wants an opportunity for leadership, and you want to start your own book club with the lady and invite the ladies of the professional women's group, we can certainly talk about doing that. So please contact me. We're always open to new ideas, especially if you're willing to lead them. All right, Amrit, do we have any other questions?
I think we're good for right now. We're also at 8 p.m., so I think it's about time to wrap it up.
It is. Well, ladies, I hope you had a wonderful night. It's always lovely seeing you. I'm so glad that most of you left your pictures up so we could see your faces. I really love it. It makes my night and my week. So thank you so much for joining us. Have a beautiful, wonderful night. Mwah.
Have a good night.
Good night.